Hello, welcome back. I'm Zade, and this is Zade is okay. And I'm actually doing pretty good, honestly. This is a big switch up from last video, last week. First of all, I just want to say thank you all so much for watching, everyone that watched it. I cannot emphasize enough how motivating it is to see people watch your things, but not just see it, but like engage in it. So like every single comment I read and I appreciated. I even got some DMs like this is cool and you know, thank you. I appreciate it. You know, and when I'm trying to do something that I want to do consistently for at least 8 weeks, it is very easy to get discouraged or bored if you're like focusing on the views and stuff like that. And I'm not focusing on the views. I'm honestly just focused on the people that are listening and the people that enjoy it. And the fact that the people enjoy it, that means a lot. So anyway, that's the thank yous out of the way. Zade, why are you in a good mood? Well, this is a direct contrast. So, okay, there's a lot I want to talk about today. First of all, I went on a run this morning, which is new for me. I used to go on runs every morning. By every morning, I mean for like a month, because I was like, oh, I'm getting weight. I need to find a way to figure this out. And working out was the best way for that, and specifically cardio. And I hate cardio. When I was in high school, I played a lot of sports, high school, primary school. I'm from Scotland. I think I said that last time, but primary school is like elementary to middle school kind of time period. And yeah, I played like sports like all my life, like primary school, high school, college, etc. I played basketball, football. I used to do athletics for a while, like running. And one thing that I found in common with all of those is the only reason I enjoyed the cardio was because I was playing against someone. Or with a team, sorry. Because I just like running, competing against yourself. It just doesn't make sense to me. Oh, also, you know, this is a new setup. I'm trying to see what this looks like. It's kind of this reminds me of those what's it called? The iMac like photo booth aesthetic, where it's like, oh, like I use a bad camera, but that's like part of the aura. So look, I might put the like photo booth like overlay over this. But anyway, so running against myself has never made sense to me. Like competing when I'm not competing against another person is really hard for me. Like with basketball, you're trying to beat the other team, or you have teammates. With football, it's the same thing. So convincing myself to just run, which sucks in my opinion. You know, shout out runners, you do your thing. It's not for me. I'm not built for it. But like convincing myself to just run, even for 15 minutes. My plan was to run for 30 minutes today, and I ran for 15. And I feel kind of embarrassed to say my time, but I know that the part of this being weekly means that I can look back on what's improved and not improved. So wait, let me find my exact time. Okay, so my exact time for a mile 40, 1.4 miles, was 15 minutes 33 seconds. It's and my pace was 11 minutes per mile. And I know what you're thinking. So I was like I need to find a way to like just be consistent in it. And I know if I tire myself out and I try to do like my absolute hardest consistently, I'm going to run for 8 minutes and then burn out and then just walk. Right. And I was watching, weirdly enough, a Joshua Wiseman video where he was talking about how he lost weight, and he was like, the biggest change was cardio. And I was like, oh, I hate cardio though. And he's like, you just have to not walk. Like you can walk 30 minutes a day is better than no minutes a day. But doing running, like it's better that you run at a slow pace for a longer time than you run at a high pace for a shorter time. In terms of cardio, if you're not like training for sprints and stuff like that, right? So I'm like, okay, let me not be embarrassed. Let me be proud that 1, I did the run, and 2, I did my goal, which was 15 minutes. It was originally 30, but it was so hot outside. I was like, I need to readjust. I need to run earlier. But I did it, and I did the run. And, you know, run heads, you can make fun of me, and I'm okay with that. I can live proudly knowing that in 15 minutes, I ran 1.4 miles. And it's done, you know? I did it. I felt sick afterwards. I thought I was going to pass out when I got back into the apartment, but I did it, and I'm proud of that. So that put me in a great mood. Like to start the day, especially after such a busy week, which I'll get into. But to start the day with that run felt amazing. It felt incredible. Like the slow jog going past people, and I'm like, oh my God, like, what did they think of me? And I was like, no, I just got my music. I have my timer. When this 15 minutes goes off, I want to be at my house, and I hit it perfectly. I think I was a little early, or no, I was a little behind the loop to my house. So I sprinted the last part just to try and get those extra steps in. And yeah, so I felt great. That started my week. I hope your week is going good. Try do a run, 5 minutes, 2 minutes even, just a little jog, try run a lap around your apartment or your house or your block, wherever you are. Let me know how that feels. Random morning. In the afternoon, I did mine at like 1 p.m. It's 3-ish when I'm filming this. So yeah, that started my day off great. But now we talk about last week. So I talked about my plan to go to Austin. I had the trip. I was really stressed about work. I had 2 videos for client B that I wanted to get done, but that I needed to get done. Actually, the deadline for one was yesterday, which went up, and then the deadline for the other is next week. And I was like, I won't have time to do both of these and go to Austin. So what happened was I pulled the Austin trip. I had to cancel it. I had a conversation with my girlfriend. Thank God for her. She is genuinely the difference between me having a panic attack from overworking and overstressing and not. And she was like, Zade, you need to think realistically. If you're in Austin and just working the whole time, what's the point? And then you're also going to be stressed, and then you'll also have to fly, and then it's also super hot and all these things. And I was like, you are right. I should just pull the trigger. I'm good. And immediately when I like mentally came to that conclusion, I just felt so relaxed. And I finished the video. I was working till, I think it was like 6 a.m. or something like that, 6 or 7 a.m. And I finished the video. And they didn't review it till the next day, like not even the day. So I kind of stayed up for no reason, but I finished it and I hit my deadline. And I was like, I'm happy that now I can just sleep and not worry about a flight in 4 hours, because it was the morning of the flight that I was finishing the video. And so, yeah, unfortunately, I didn't get to go to Austin. I was disappointed. Honestly, I was pretty sad. I was like, this was like a planned trip with my friends. And like I talked about last time, where my job is very deadline based, has its pros and cons, with one of the cons being everything exists around the client, really. Like anything that I do is kind of in a bubble, and the priority is, okay, you can do what you want, Zade. You can do what you want here. You can do what you want here. As long as my video is done by this time, you're good, which is great. I can organize my time around that. I get a lot more free time. I'm not like trapped in a specific 9 to 5 where like I have to be in an office, which I'm very, very grateful for. But yeah, like I said, the downside is that it's like, okay, the video, I now can't go on my Austin trip because this video I'm working on, I need to get it done by that time, which is unfortunate. But again, the freedom that came with clearing up that trip was crazy. I did my other work for client A, a great video. And actually on that video, with editing, it can get very stale. I know. And I know a lot of the people that watch this also edit. If you don't, welcome. And I'm grateful that you're here. But I know that a majority of the people that know me through the editing or are editors themselves. And so I know how draining and repetitive editing can be, especially if you're working with one client that does mainly the same thing just over and over. And, trying to have fun with it when you can is great. But I know, like, for me with client A, I've been doing it for so long that it's automatic. Like, I see a joke, I know there's a zoom. I see a bit, I know what bit to do. And my favorite part is in the moments where something happens and I'm like, oh, I can try this thing. When I have maybe the deadline, maybe I get the video on Tuesday and the deadline's like Thursday or Friday. So it means I get extra time. I'm like, oh, this is great. I get an opportunity to do something. And usually what comes with that is I spend hours on something for a 10-second return in the final video. My roommate's an animator, and animators, like, they know it's like you put hours and hours into something, and the the final result is 2 to like 15 seconds of that scene, you know? So it kind of felt like that. I did an edit where I was talking about the pre-cutters before. They're advancing, so they're doing more and more full videos, which it's so it's so weird to say, but it kind of feels like seeing like kids grow up, if that makes sense. Like seeing them take on a full video and like do edits themselves, like completely themselves and their own ideas and etc. I'm just so proud, you know. I get this I don't know, like they with pre-cuts, I have them like mark moments where they think of a joke, right? So if it's like, oh, an edit here could be this, and then sometimes I'll do it, sometimes I won't. I'll like let them know and things like that. So seeing them do full videos and their own jokes and their own ideas, whether they work out or not, or whether I find them funny or not, is just like I just love to see it. I hope that doesn't sound like I'm talking down on them, but like I really am so proud of like how far they've come in the past like 3 months that they've been helping me out with pre-cutting and stuff. But with that, I get the Premiere timeline from the pre-cuts and also from the full videos, and I go in and I adjust like whether it's zooms or like music or volume levels and stuff like that, just little things, and then I leave notes in the Discord for them so that they can like see a timestamp and be like, okay, like in future avoid this type of song, or change this, or this is what I adjust. And one of our pre-cutters, Mitch, he's definitely one of our more advanced editors, because he has the most, what's the word, I guess, experience or knowledge with like VFX stuff, or at least like comes across that way. All of our pre-cutters are great. All of our team is amazing. It's just like there's different levels of like Matt, for example, really good at pacing and timing, and I think he worked more in like the commentary type of field, so he was kind of like used to it a lot more, whereas Mitch is like definitely more tapped into like the VFX side. Like he'll be using more After Effects projects and using Blender, and like when he does an edit that I'm like, whoa, you know, that kind of stuff, I'm just like that's awesome. Like when I'm asking him questions on how he does something, that's when I'm like these guys are like, they're tapped in, you know, I'm learning from them, which I love. But anyway, he did an edit where client A like specifically requested an edit where it's like a phone, a camera like slowly zooming into a phone or something, or I don't even know if he was that specific. He basically made a voice note, like one of those Hinge, like what's one thing, what's your biggest red flag, and then one of the voice notes would be like, the fact that I'm so hot and awesome and I own a bunch of fish. Is that kind of came off like like more of a, that sounds like an SNL bit. No shade to SNL, it's just not my type of humor. It's just never hit for me. So when I hear like oh, dating means they have fish pictures, that just like hits me as like an SNL joke. Anyway, so something like that. And so he was making like a fake Hinge voice note thing. And Mitch did an edit where it was like he set up the Hinge voice note, he set up like the screenshot with the like animated like audio wave thing, if you know what I'm talking about, like the waveform thing. I'll put a picture up. But he set that all up, and it was like a 2D image. I think it was like an AI like table background and the phone in the middle, and the camera just like pans into it. It was great. Like he did good. I think my main issue was just it was a little low res. I think because of how zoomed in the picture was, it like looked a little pixely. But other than that, like again, in most scenarios, I would just leave it because like it looks good. But seeing it, I had the idea. I was like, you know what? I have the time. I'm ahead on the video, and I've worked on most of this. Let me just like redo this scene, but in Blender. Like, let me set up a room and make it like a 3D thing. I can actually, yeah, I can put pictures of that. That's past NDA without showing off the client. But I can like show a picture. I can do this whole scene and have it in like in a room and like with 3D cameras panning in. I'll have like multiple camera POVs as he's like reading this is the camera, by the way, as he's like reading the voice note. And I was like, oh, that would be great. And I feel like it wouldn't take too long. And so cut to 5 hours later, 5 hours later, I'm doing my first render with an ETA of 1 hour and 10 minutes to do it. and that's only one camera. So unfortunately, I had to scrap the 3 cameras idea. I had to just pick one. I'm like on the phone with my girlfriend. She's like, I can't believe you're still doing this, but also I support you, but also you need to finish the video. And I was like, you're so right. Like, pick one of these cameras. And she picks one out. And I'm like, oh, I can't believe I spent this long and the bit is 10 seconds. But I'm proud of it. You know, it doesn't look as realistic as I wanted it to, but I learned a lot about that through the process. You know, like I learned more about lighting a scene, which is like a huge part of realism. I learned, so I was getting models online, and the issue is that like, how do I, for example, this phone case, this is my phone case. Oh, wow. Bad time to do the bad quality camera bit. So you can't really see it, but you see how there's like smudges and like reflections on the end, and you can see like fingerprints and stuff like that. All of that adds so much. So my scene just had like it looked like the cleanest phone ever. It was freshly unlocked, which makes it look fake, right, in 3D. So like adding, if I had more time and I could go back, I would add like smudge textures to it. I would add little cracks, maybe more realistic glass reflections. But like, again, looking back, I'm proud of the scene. I'm happy that I made it. I'm happy it made it in the video. Was it necessary? No. Did I learn? Yes. And that's really what matters. Finding those moments as an editor where you can like, where you can like spend that time and learn as you go. I think that's still, you know, from one of the first Zade OK videos, I think that's the best advice I'd ever given is like, as an editor, I don't know if it's the same with animation or art or different things, but like working for someone to deliver a product with your skill, finding ways to learn while you're being paid will pay off 100-fold, right? When you're not being paid and you're trying to do Blender tutorials, it can feel a lot harder because you're you have all the time in the world. There's no deadline. So maybe I'll do it tomorrow, maybe I'll do it next week, whatever. And also it's like, what should I make, right? Like the struggle of where to start. Whereas like with my job, it's like, oh, here's a thing. I want to learn Blender. Let me see if I can make this idea in Blender, right? And I'm already being paid to do the video. Again, if you're hourly, it's a little different. You don't want to use up your client's hours and then it's not great. But yeah, I'm like, that is the kind of thing that I'm very grateful I get to do with my job, is I get to learn as I'm editing. I've been super focused on music because I noticed my most common note for projects with anyone, like any clients I'd worked with, anyone else, the most common note I would get would be music doesn't match the vibe, or this music doesn't fit, or whatever. So I made it a goal. I think maybe it was last year or a few months ago that I would get better at choosing music for videos. I was like, I'm gonna like put real effort. I'm not just gonna pick a track and then loop it, which is honestly what I used to do, so I understand the note. but I'm gonna pick a real track and I'm gonna like choose it based on the scene or based on the edit or whatever. Like be way more specific about it. And my first real test of that was with the Zaniel show. That was me going all out and finding songs specifically to match the scene and like being really picky about it, and then like also adjusting the song, because I rarely adjusted levels before, but I'd adjust like the highs and the lows based on like the rising parts of the moment. Like if a joke is building and there's no payoff, I'll swell the music up and then just have it like mute. Like, how do I word it? I'm not muting it, but I'll find a point in the song where it swells and I'll pick a song based on that, if that makes sense. Swells like it's rising, like it feels like the room is filling with the music, and then within the song itself there's a drop off, and then I'll just emphasize that drop off, maybe add an echo or whatever to emphasize the silence. And again, these are all things I didn't do before and I learned on the job, and I'm very grateful for. I did the same with with Client B's video, the one I was stressed about last week. With that video I did the same thing. I was really focused on the music. I was really focused. It's mainly in the start of the video, to be honest. Like towards the end it was kind of, you can do whatever, but I was really focused on making the video like make sense, making the video feel like the music was intentional. Like even eventually my plan is I want to work with stems. This is like super nerdy talk, by the way, but you know what? I can talk about whatever I want. Stems are like, or to my knowledge, I'm not a music head, but based on epidemic sound, stems are where you can have each individual instrument on its own audio layer. And I want to work with that. I really want to get into like building the drums or the piano coming in like as I want it to come in, or like the violin or the orchestra, whatever. And so with Epidemic Music, you can download each individual stem of like for each track. So I can download just the drums, just the piano, whatever, overlay them all on top of each other. It sounds like the original song, and then I can choose when to bring in certain tracks. And I'm really excited. I haven't had a reason to use that yet, so hopefully a project comes up where I can, if it's not my own one. But yeah, I'm really excited about that. And all of these things are why I feel so good right now compared to the low of last week. Like the peak low, oh my God. When it hit like 5 a.m. editing that video, I was like, what is my job? Why do I do this? Is it all worth it? Like, what's going on? And then now that the video is done, my video for today is done, I have no more work. That's why I can film the podcast and I can like work on creative stuff. I'm just like, that's awesome. I'm so happy. I'm so grateful. I'm like, I have a good job. I have good friends. I have, and this is like all the opposite of what I was thinking last week. You could probably tell the mood difference when I was filming that last podcast episode. I was a little nervous because it was my first time doing it, but also I was just like, oh my God, this is like, as I'm speaking out loud what I'm saying, I'm realizing how much work I have to do as soon as I like stop recording the podcast. But yeah, so I'm honestly feeling pretty good. I'm really grateful. Again, thanks to everyone that's watching. You're a big part of this mood rise. And I hope that you can get something out of this, even if it's am I holding the mic weird? Yeah, even if it's something that you're playing in the background, or if you do your run, if you hear this at the start, I think I talked about the run, like 4 minutes in, and now you're currently running and this is just playing in your ears, let me know. I think that's awesome. Okay, I probably should check the form if there were more questions from last time. I have not looked at it since. But I did have some topics that I specifically wanted to talk about today. Okay, I got the form questions. So Google Forms, for some reason, will not preview these questions in order. And I just figured out how to do, like I have to type in the question number. Anyway, I found some, and I've missed a lot. I did not see half of these from like 2024, but I'll go by the most recent because I feel like that's like what's important right now. One of the questions I got is, do you miss living in the UK? I do and I don't. There are a lot of things I miss about the UK, but most of it is like money related. So for context, I was born in Nigeria, and I moved to the UK when I was like 1.5, 2 years old, because my mom was a doctor and she was like finishing her training or finishing school or something in the UK, in Scotland. And so I've grown up in Scotland. I only moved to America about two and a half years ago. Sorry, I just started fidgeting with these. About 2.5 years ago. And yeah, I'm basically Scottish, honestly. Like, I'm Nigerian because I was born there, but I went back to Nigeria. I used to go like almost yearly when I was a kid, maybe every few years. But I've not been back in a long time. But with that context, I lived in the UK for like 20-ish years. And I miss mainly the money, like in the UK compared to, I'm going to refer to just Scotland, right? Because England is very different, especially in terms of taxes, healthcare, everything. England is very different from Scotland. But in regards to Scotland, where I grew up, everything was so much cheaper than it was in California. And I know that is mainly an LA thing. It's not like everywhere in America is this expensive. But the biggest thing that gets me is, in America, you pay, specifically California and LA, you pay a lot in taxes, like a huge chunk of whatever your income is, because there's an income tax in California. A huge chunk of that goes away. Of whatever I make in a year, a lot of that is gone. And so I'm like, oh, that sucks. But in the UK, in Scotland, they have high taxes too, like pretty high taxes compared to a lot of countries. It's pretty high. But the payoff is that in Scotland, when you pay high taxes, free healthcare, free education, free schools, free library, all of that stuff is like free through taxes. But then when I'm in America and I'm like, I'm here, I'm paying the same amount in taxes as I do in Scotland, And then also I don't get free healthcare. And if I have kids and I want to take them to college, it's like $25,000 a year. I don't understand how that makes sense. Where's the logic between that? Where are my taxes going? What am I paying for? I'm paying just like to live in California. I say all that. I do love California. Well, okay. I don't love California. I love the weather in California, and I love the people that are here. My girlfriend's here. My roommate's here. He's awesome. A lot of my friends are in California. So I love those parts, but I miss the feeling of, I guess, community that I had in Scotland. Like going to, I mean, to be fair, I'm biased. I was like, the college part of Scotland was amazing. I loved my time in college. I had the best time. I was working for Client A while I was in college, which definitely made it easier. I didn't have to worry about like too much financially. I had some low points, but overall I was doing pretty good. And I made some of like my best friends there. My roommates in college, they were great. Obviously roommates have issues. I wasn't a perfect roommate either. But like overall as friends, they were amazing. I was on the football team in college too. And whenever I say that, it's like, oh my God, wait, you were like an athlete. It's one, they do play, this is American football, by the way. They do play American football in Scotland. It's not super popular, but it's growing a lot. And two, it's not like, there's not like D1 levels like they do here where it's like, oh, you're a D1 athlete. It wasn't like that. This is like high school, like sports, right? And again, in America, high school sports are definitely a higher level than a lot of the place in Scotland. But it was more like, this is like fun for me, right? Like we weren't, of course I'd love to win a championship, but we weren't winning championships. We weren't like traveling the world to play football. It was like, I met a lot of my friends. I found a sport that I enjoyed and I was pretty good at. I wasn't great the second year, but the first year I was pretty good at it. And yeah, like things like that I missed. That was the closest to an American frat, I say. Like when we had what's it called? I think you call it pledges in America. Hazing and pledges in America. Ours was I can't say what university it was because I don't know if this was actually allowed. But there's a reason you'll never see me drinking white wine, like unless I have to or it's like free. But white wine makes me feel sick because in college we had the equivalent of hazing, where we called it what was it called? Initiations. We called it initiations, where for us we had to we all met up in a field. Pitch black. It's like 1 a.m., maybe 12 a.m., something like that. Pitch black in a field with the coaches of the football team like meeting us there. And we're all like, what is going on? We all get 2 bottles of white wine taped to our hands. And we had to run a lap around the football or 2 laps around the football field. And it had to be, it was 1 lap around the football field. And it had to be finished by the time we got back. And so like we're like chugging wine. I was like, oh my God, I can't do this. And he wasn't my roommate at the time, but he ended up being my roommate. We both looked at each other. We're like, yeah, I don't need it that bad. So we just started like looking around to make sure, like drinking it. And then we just poured the rest onto the field and just keep going like that until we got back and we were good. And again, that was like fun. Like I hated it, but it was fun. And I met, like, we're all laughing like while we're doing it. And then we get back and they make newspaper tails, and they put them in our ass, like in our underwear, not in our ass, in our underwear. And they had like a tail poking out, and they poured a little bit of wine on it, and it was like 5 of us in a line, and they'd set fire to it, and we had to run to the other side, and the last person of that like heat of that 5 had to like chug the bottle of wine that they were pouring on us, if that made sense. And so and it's like, again, none of this was safe. I don't know how allowed any of this stuff was, but we did it. We had a great time doing it. I can't lie, it was fun. And then and then everything was going well until one of the guys on the team, I don't know how slow he was running or what, if the wine got on his clothes or what, but the fire caught up to him. And he was like, we were all screaming like, stop, drop, roll, like get on the floor. That's how you deal with this thing, right? You're supposed to like roll over and get the fire to extinguish itself. He just was not listening, and he's just running in circles while this fire is like lighting like behind him and like lighting up his shorts until someone had to tackle him to the ground to force him to like roll over. But yeah, I do miss the UK. I do miss Scotland. That was like, it sounds crazy and it sounds like that was insane, but I feel like there's way worse hazing stories. And I had so much fun like in that. Like all of us are laughing about it. It was a great story for all of us. The community in Scotland as well, like public transport, so good. Never miss a bus. There's buses every like 10, 15 minutes. So good. And obviously my family's there too. I miss them a lot. I don't get to visit them as much because flights to Scotland from LA are like lows of $700 to $800 and then highs of like $1,400. Like going at Christmas, I think last year was like $1,400, which yeah, that was not light. It was not fun, but I had a great time there. Saw family. That was good. I'm going back again actually in September. But yeah, overall, I think I do miss a lot about the UK, and I do see myself moving back there eventually. Like I don't plan to live in LA for a long time unless I suddenly come into a large sum of money. But there are some things like in LA, there's definitely more to do. There's a lot you can do in Scotland. Like most things you want to do here, you can do. I feel like in most places, at least like most like, is it first world countries? Developed country, whatever, America, like the UK, Europe, things like that. And most of those places, like if you want to go to a movie, if you want to go thrifting, if you want to make cool stuff, like all of that stuff is available in most of those places. But I know LA definitely has like a higher level of a lot of those things. Like if I want to do like a video where I learn Taekwondo training, I probably could find one in Scotland, but it would be much easier to find one in LA, for example. Yeah, I feel like those are the main things. Yeah, it's mainly family, friends that I miss. I don't miss the weather. That's one thing that LA has over Scotland easily. I hate rain. I cannot stand it. I wish it could rain, and when it rained on me, it would just like make a little I had a protective bubble so it would never be around me, and also it didn't make things wet. Like I know we have to have rain for like plants and whatever, and like cleaning stuff and whatever. I hate all of it though. If I could skip the day that it has to rain and does like one big rain to clean everything up and then we're good, I would take that deal easily. But in Scotland, it's like raining 6 out of 7 days a week, or 5 out of 7 days minimum a week. So that's one thing I definitely don't miss. Also gas. People talk about how expensive gas in LA is. Gas in the UK is crazy. I had a Mini Cooper. I think it was a 1.9 liter. So I guess it's more expensive, but that was like 70 to 90 pounds to fill. For reference, that's probably about $122. $122 to fill up my car. And people complain about gas here. Fair. It can be bad in both places, but it was definitely worse in Scotland. I don't miss that at all. I feel like that's mainly it. Also how cheap everything was. Like rent, I used to pay 400, or I guess in dollars, that would be like $550 a month for rent. Whereas now I'm paying like $13.25 a month before bills. I used to pay $550 with bills and Wi-Fi included. So I definitely missed that. That was incredible. Now I'm using like most of my paycheck just to cover rent, but it's whatever. You know, eventually when we're up, when things work out, I will remember you guys, and I'll remember these moments where it felt like I was paying so much money on rent. But yeah, overall, I do miss the UK. I like LA. You know, this isn't to say LA sucks, and like, I don't know if I'd recommend someone move here. I feel like visiting here frequently maybe would be cheaper and more efficient, but yeah. I feel like you should try Scotland. If you like drinking, Scotland's a great place for that. If you like castles or pretty sights and views, great place for that. If you like camping, great place for that. As long as you're fine with it raining a majority of the time that you're there. I'll be so honest. But yeah, thank you very much for the question. That was an anonymous one. I keep forgetting that you're allowed to say your name, but I also understand not everyone wants to do that. Okay, this is an editing question. Yo, just wanted to say I work as a YouTube editor, and weirdly enough, also just recently felt as though I wanted more creative freedom and began making my own stuff. Nice. So it was kind of bizarre to hear you mimic that. If you come across any good advice for making the transition, I'd be interested to hear. Good luck. Thank you very much, and good luck to you too. Not sure who you edit for or what type of stuff you're trying to get into, but my biggest advice is to do it. Full stop. You know, that like be better than me. I mean, I guess I'm trying to get better now by like making all of this stuff, and I'll talk about a project I'm working on soon. But I'd say the biggest thing is to just do it. Like do any free time you have between YouTube editor work, any free time you have on the weekends, or when you're thinking about watching a movie, maybe do something creative, then watch the movie after if you got time, you know? That's like my biggest advice is just to do something. Because you'll learn from that something more than you will planning things, right? Like you should definitely have a plan about what you want to do, but doing something full stop will teach you so much more. Like you'll learn from your failures a lot. I saw a tweet, and it's like, whenever I quote these things, it feels like what's that? Live, laugh, love, you know, like those kind of images. But I learned the word chuggy. Every time it's like an American word, or I don't know if it's an LA word. But I learned that word is like referring to that like live, laugh, love style of, I don't know, fashion, design, product, whatever. Like just that genre of thing is like chuggy, which I don't know if I'm being gaslit. Maybe I'll censor it because it sounds like a slur. It's not apparently, but it sounds like a slur. But yeah, that like, I saw a picture. I wonder if I can find it. I'll put it up on screen, but it was saying something like make it now, perfect it later, or something like that, which is so real. You know, it was like a squiggly or badly drawn circle next to like a perfect circle. And it's like, you have to make that circle before you could refine it later. Right. Like if that makes sense. I'm like, you know, I'm not perfect, and I want to become more consistent. And I think that's the priority, is like to make something and put it out there consistently, which is a lot easier. It's easier said than done for sure. But yeah, I've started and stopped so many projects. I did that vlog a while ago, the Sugar Pine 7 inspired vlog, and I loved it. You know, I had a lot of fun doing it. I found that I was really uncomfortable filming in public. I think that's another thing that you need to think about is, as an editor, everyone's personality is obviously different. I think I'm better on camera when I'm with another person, when I have someone else to interact with. Like even this podcast is new for me, but because it doesn't have to be funny necessarily, like it can just be me talking about whatever. And if you're interested, you'll watch it. That kind of thing is like I feel less pressure. But when I'm in a situation where I have to be funny and I don't have someone to bounce off, I struggle a lot. I feel like I'm not, I was talking to one of my friends about this maybe like last year, but I'm not the joke guy. Like I don't think I'm built for stand up necessarily, right? I'd have to practice a lot to be able to do stand up, but I don't really do like jokes. I more build off situations. Like I'll throw in like an ad lib or like a time, an addition to a joke at the right time, that kind of thing. But I'm not really like the like telling jokes as I'm talking. Does that make sense? I feel like there's like there's probably different types of people, but there are two types where there's like the person like making the jokes and the person like emphasizing the jokes. And I feel like I lean much more towards emphasizing or like building off someone else's joke than I do creating a joke from scratch. But I don't know. That's just me. I talked to my friend about it, and he agreed. And I feel like, but he's more the make the joke guy. So it's like, I feel like that dynamic works pretty well. Wait, where did that come from? Oh yeah. So I feel like also finding things that you're good at, and not that you shouldn't try things that you're not good at, because there are ways to grow, but I think you'll find it a lot harder to try and make content or art or products or things that are specifically outside of your wheelhouse. And you should definitely push out of that comfort zone, because that's where you'll find things you didn't know that you enjoyed. But like when I filmed that vlog, I enjoyed the editing process. I enjoyed the writing process. the voiceover telling the jokes I struggled a little bit with, because it's like I know what I want the joke to be, but my execution wasn't how I imagined in my head, which was kind of discouraging. But it's like I learned from that, right? Like even doing this podcast, the first episode versus this one, I learned I feel more relaxed and like able to talk more upbeat versus like before. I feel like, and again, I'm grateful that you guys watched it, but watching it back, I felt like I was very like, and yeah. And then, so if you're making video, you know, and like now I feel like I'm able to be more that personality that works without compromising, being authentic, if that makes sense. All of that to say, filming was the hardest part of doing that vlog video. Being in public and taking out my phone, even though everyone does it, something about it being horizontal instead of vertical completely shifts the vibe. Being at a party, like in that video, I was at a part, I think it was either a housewarming or a birthday party or whatever. Taking out my phone when people are like, oh, happy birthday, they have their phone up like this. It's so like, that's fine. It's like, oh yeah, you know, I'm in someone's TikTok or Snapchat or whatever. As soon as I turn it like this, suddenly it feels like all eyes are on me and everyone's like, what is he doing? Why is he filming that? And so like from that vlog footage, I think I used all of it in that video. I used all like 45 seconds of the footage that I got in that video in public. Like shooting in my own apartment, that's fine. Like my roommate filmed stuff too. So it's like we're both kind of in that mindset, but being at someone else's place at a party where no one's like volunteered to be on camera, no one's like tapped in like, oh yeah, I want to be in a video right now. It feels kind of like, are you okay with it? Especially because it was dark too. So wait, let me turn. So the flash was on. So imagine this, you're just dancing at a party, you're having a good time, and then you just get flashbanged like that. That's what, like, I don't think they felt like that. And as you know, but that's what it felt like to me. It felt like I was just doing this to people. Like at random, be like, hey, do your funny joke. Cool, I'm gonna voice over it anyway, so it doesn't matter. Cool. You know, that's what it felt like. I wasn't saying that, but I was kind of like nervously filming like this for like most of the video. But in doing that, I learned I don't like filming unless like if someone else is filming, sure. But I don't like filming in uncomfortable situations where other people aren't involved. But I enjoy filming when someone else is doing something. For example, my girlfriend, for her birthday, I vlogged her. We went to this, like, how did you describe it? It's like kind of like a free roaming zoo. It's an animal sanctuary for like rescued animals. And there was like emus, there's zebras, like all of this stuff. I can like put a video of it maybe on screen, or a clip of it on screen. But like that's another video where I focused a lot on the music. Like I really enjoyed it. But with that video filming, I was like saying to my girlfriend, I was like, I really enjoyed that. Like just filming her doing her thing where I don't have any pressure to be funny or to tell a joke or to do any type of thing. Like just being there and like, she's naturally funny, just filming her doing whatever she's doing, petting a zebra or whatever. And I can like, I have someone to bounce off. I can make the jokes behind the camera that emphasize what she's saying. And you know, that was fun. I'm still working on that vlog, you know. It's going to take a little while, but it's maybe halfway done. And it's a lot of fun. The first like 8 minutes, I'm really proud of. It feels very personal. I sent it to one of my friends and he was like, it feels kind of like uncomfortable or weird. Like I'm not supposed to be watching this because of how personal it is, which I think is a good thing. You know, like it is a very personal video. I surprised my girlfriend with something. I mean, she knew about it. But like the surprise was that we actually did it. And she enjoyed it, and I was like, yeah, let me film this. Like this is something I enjoy doing. So the biggest advice is to make something and figure out what you do and don't like from that, and take away what you can work on in that field. Speaking of which, I'm starting a new series. This is also in relation to that 12 weeks thing I was talking about. I'm starting a new series called The Little Guy. That's like the work in progress name. Whenever I refer to Little Guy, that's what I'm talking about. And the series is basically a vlog in the style of me finding this little guy outside that looks exactly like me. And it's just me green screened and like comped down into scenes. And it'll just be like, it's not daily, but it'll be filmed as if it was daily. So I'll be posting every few days of me like just going through my day, but the little guy is there. And a lot of where that series comes from is things I've learned from other things that I didn't repeat or I enjoyed but didn't follow through on, or I didn't enjoy but I tried to do. I don't like filming in public, especially when it's horizontal. So I have a series where it's TikTok based, so I can just film it like this, and I don't have to film other people. I can film like I'll post a clip of it so you can see like a reference of what I'm talking about. But like I can just film my desk right here, or if I'm at a dinner, I can just film a little bit of the table, and then later I can just go home and all I have to do is get my roommate to film me in front of a green screen, and I comp myself down, and then now I'm on that table. You know, the lighting's not going to be perfect, and that's something I've learned a lot with this project is the perfectionist that I am. I want things to look real, but that doesn't work when when the uncanny valley world is kind of, it's too powerful, where it's like weird for me to try and trick it almost, right? Like when you see a small version of a human, you know it's not real. You know this is fake. This is like it's funny. Like the joke is there. Oh, there's a small version of you. That's the joke. And the more I emphasize on like getting realistic shadows cast and like the lighting perfectly matching, the less episodes I end up making, because I'm so focused on like, why is it not perfect? Why is it not looking how I wanted it to look and all of this? And then it just doesn't get made. So I realized I just have to pull the trigger. I'll put shadows when I want to put shadows, when I have time to put shadows, and then they don't have to be perfect. They don't have to be, like over time, as I get faster in the process of doing these videos, I'd love for it to be, for them to get more realistic. I'll lean into Blender more to have more assets put in the scene. But for now, it's really, I just want to make something. And this is a funny idea that I had, where it's just a little version of me going through the day. Turns out that he loves eggs for some reason, and we don't know. He also doesn't speak my language, and we never communicate, and he's just on my desk while I work, or I lose him one time, and I'm like just trying to find him on the floor, and then I find him in a box, like all of these things. And then eventually I'd love for it to develop into like into him being like having his own TikTok account, and like he's vlogging from his perspective of like I've been captured by this giant guy, I don't know why, whatever, but he doesn't speak my language, and we're like trying to decide. I just like, let me not spoil it. I have so many ideas for where it can go, but I also don't want to tie myself to those ideas. I want to be able to just like be at a restaurant and be like, oh, it'd be funny if I filmed him like being taken away by the waiter, and then I can like just film the waiter walking away, because that doesn't look weird in the context of me at the restaurant. It just looks like I'm maybe like taking videos of my food, or it's cool the waiter came over, or whatever it is. And like I can create a narrative around it later if I want that. And the point is, I want to be able to do them in no more than 4 hours per episode, because that means I can spend like 8 hours a week and have 2 episodes out a week consistently. But again, I'm going to learn a lot while I do this. I already learned a lot filming the first one. And I'm really excited to do more. And, you know, maybe it works out on TikTok, maybe it doesn't. Either way, I'll have made something, and I'll be able to say that I made something. You know, that's the feeling I had after making the Zade show. It was like, whether this succeeds or not, whether this pays off or not. And I'm so glad that I think it's got like 1.1 thousand views. Crazy. I'm so grateful for that. And I got a lot of feedback too. So I know how to improve future episodes. I know how to mass film future episodes in bulk. I have all of these planned out, and I'm so excited. I'm so excited for the things I'm gonna make. Even talking about it here, like for all of you to hear, it's like it holds me accountable that next week I can talk about, hey, I posted the last real little guy video, like it got this many views, I enjoyed it, I learned this about that, and all of that stuff. I just have so many plans and ideas, and finally setting like, this week I'll have to do this week I'll have to do that. Cannot recommend the 12-week yearbook enough for anyone. You know what, that's my tip to you wanting to make videos. Read the 12-week year. Read that book. It'll give you goals. It'll give you set things you want to do. And when you're feeling discouraged, for me, it motivates me to just push on, because I know the difference between now and 4 weeks, the difference between 4 weeks and 12 weeks, the difference between 12 weeks and 2 years, like everything, it slowly builds, and it's hard to keep going when you don't see the progress in front of you. But that 12-week year has really helped me be grateful that I'm making anything full stop. I'm less focused about, it's not getting views, it's not getting this. I'm more focused about like, I'm making things, and I'm posting things that I never used to make and I never used to post, and I'm really proud of that. So yeah, best of luck to you. I'd love to see, you can anonymously send me the videos that you make in the forums. I'll follow along. You can comment it below, I'll subscribe. I'll watch what you're doing, and yeah, I'd love to see it. We can help each other out. Best of luck with you. What was the other thing I wanted to talk about? Oh yes. So speaking of ideas and branching out, what do you guys think of a live stream weekly? And I might be pushing it because I'm putting a lot on my plate for this 12 weeks thing, and this wasn't there before. But I've had this idea for live streaming, which ties into what I was saying before about like honing in on what you're good at. I feel like I'm good at editing, and I feel like I can be entertaining while talking about editing. And I also know there's an audience for people that want to learn how to edit, but I can't make a tutorial on every single thing. And I was thinking of doing a live stream where you guys come up with the idea of an edit. I'll show an example. I did this Costco guys video where it was a Minecraft edit where I rotoscoped the Costco guys and I put them in Minecraft. I added some elements like them eating the double chunk chocolate cookie. I added like 3D camera work and all of these stuff. And there was a lot of trial and error that went into that. I didn't just like going in. I had an idea of what I wanted it to look like, but I would track something and it wouldn't work, or I'd try to use a plugin and it wouldn't work, or like I'd have to figure out from scratch how to do this thing. And I feel like that's the kind of stuff that other people might want to watch. Like if you're interested in that, I really want to do a live stream where maybe I set a timer, maybe it's 4 hours or whatever, and you guys suggest in chat or in another forum like this one, an edit idea. So putting blank into this video game, or I mean, it'll primarily be focused on like rotoscoping and comping stuff, because that's the most consistent one, but also the one that a lot of people have the most questions of, right? But in this style, the video will be there where I can take like whether it's a viral meme or a clip or your favorite YouTuber or a scene from a different video or whatever, or even your own video that you submit, whatever it is, and like together we can build a funny bit and then we can post it, and I'll credit whoever's idea it was. So for example, that Costco guys edit, if someone was like, oh, you should do that, Costco guys double chunk chocolate clip and put them in Minecraft. Oh, and then when it cuts to the end and they're like, who are these guys? You should show, because I use a pillager tower. You should show a pillager tower, and it pans up to that, like the people. So like together we can come up with those ideas. And I feel like you guys, a lot of you are funny, a lot of you are creative, and maybe as you watch how I do things, you can teach me and I can teach you at the same time, if that makes sense. So like, 4 hours, like today, for example, 4 hours, I just go live and I'm like, okay, guys, what are we going to do today? Maybe for the first one, I'll probably have to think of something, and I'll do it myself. And, if I have to go outside and film something, I can like take you guys with me, and you can see it. Basically, I want to show you guys the whole process, start to finish, of what happens with making these stuff. And then you can make your own. I don't profit by gatekeeping. It's not like my job's going to be taken when everyone knows how to rotoscope, right? So yeah, if I could show anyone that wants to do that stuff, or even if we just like make a funny video, and then I'll credit you guys, obviously when I post it on TikTok or Instagram, it'll be like idea by blank made on stream or whatever. I don't know. I feel like that's a good idea. I hope it's not taken after I say this. But also, that's part of putting it out there. That's fine. If I don't make it in time, that's kind of on me. But yeah, I'm really, really excited to do that. I think it'll be so much fun. I think we'll create some pretty fun stuff, and then each week we'll all together have made a video, and I'll also have the footage available so you can edit along if you want to. It's basically a tutorial with you involved. We're editing what you guys want. If you're like, oh, you should make it like zoom into the eyes, I can't guarantee I'll do every idea, but I can try, and I can show you most of the ideas that I'm doing. That's the plan, at least. We'll see how that goes. I was thinking about doing it today, but I have some more stuff I have to film. So I might, what time is it? It's 4 p.m. I could go live maybe at 6, from 6 till 10. We'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling. We'll see if I think of an idea too. I still have to think of an idea. But yeah, I think that would be fun. Let me know what you guys think if you have any edit ideas. And yeah, I feel like that was a good session. Did I miss anything? I think we're good. I'm feeling good. I'm excited for this week. I don't have more client B work for a while, probably till like September or something like that. So just my usual 3 to 4 videos with client A, working with the pre-cutters, and yeah, working on my own stuff. I'm excited. Well, okay, that's it. We just hit an hour. I guess like maybe 5 minutes is taking out because of searching for the Google Forms, but thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any more questions, the form link is down below, and I will see you guys next week. Thank you very much. I'm doing pretty good.